Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Patriots Real Time Podcast. I'm your host, Theo Deasenhouse, joined alongside Austin Ray, as always. And today we will be recapping the Patriots' 20-13 loss to the Las Vegas Raiders. This one was not fun to watch. It was extremely frustrating, one of the more frustrating Patriots games that we have seen in recent memory. But before we get into all that, Austin, how are you doing on this Sunday night?
I'm not doing the best, Patriots lost, my fantasy team sucks, so it could be better, could be better.
Yeah, so does my fantasy team too. Bo Nix decided that he doesn't like to play well, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, my first round pick. Glad Ashton Genty, my second round pick, did not do too well today. But yeah, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares about your fantasy team, so we're gonna stop talking about our fantasy teams. But let's talk about this 20-13 loss here. Just really frustrating for me, like I said earlier. I don't know, maybe it's just the fact that the Patriots haven't been in the last couple of seasons, if that makes sense. Like, they haven't been competing for a playoff spot in the last two seasons, but this was extremely frustrating. You look at some of the more frustrating games from the 2020s. You look at that Ravens game from 2022. You look at that Eagles game from 2023, but even in both of those games, you were competing at least. It just felt like the team kind of just had no spark after halftime. They score 3 points, and that comes in garbage time on an Andy Borgales 44-yard field goal. So, I don't know, just thoughts on this game. Where does it rank in terms of frustrating Patriots losses in your head?
Yeah, so no, I strongly disliked this game. It was very frustrating to watch, as you said. I mean, there were some exciting moments, like Jalen Hawkins' interception. I feel like we got enough pressure on Geno Smith. I think that some of that was fun, Jarvis Landry played a great game, I think.
Harold Landry.
Harold Landry. I don't know why I said Jarvis. Harold, shout out Jarvis Landry back in the day.
Yeah.
Harold Landry played a great game, but I just think that there's some guys who sort of shined, and the rest of the team just looked like they're from 2020.
4. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Harold Landry had a really, really nice game. This is a guy that I was I guess you could say, like, downplaying, not hyping up. What's the opposite of hyping up? Not hyping up. This is a guy that I wasn't too excited about. I thought last season, in his 9 sacks that he had with Tennessee, a lot of it was just like quarterbacks running into him and him being at the right place at the right time. Just like lucky sacks like Josh Uche had in 2022. If you remember correctly, I believe he had 12 or 11 and a half sacks in 2022. And partially that was just due to the fact that the quarterback kind of ran into him. But Harold Landry had a good day today. Milton Williams, your other big free agent signing, good day today. I thought some of the defensive players had a really good day today. I thought Carlton Davis, aside from the last play of the game, or one of the last few plays of the game where he let up the 30-yard completion, was really good today. He caused the interception for Jalen Hawkins. He had a few pass breakups. So I thought that overall, Carlton Davis had a good day. I thought Alex Austin was pretty good as well. Everyone on the first drive was really bad on defense. Let's just say that. That was awful. They couldn't generate any pressure. They couldn't stop the pass, couldn't stop the run. But after that first drive, they really settled down. So what do you think that the Patriots having a pretty strong defensive day says about Mike Vrabel and this team?
I think that it shows that this defense hasn't really faltered. I feel like it's been better than the offense in the past couple of years. I think last year in particular as well. But this year, I think that it is big. There's a lot of new faces on defense. We got Milton Williams, Carlton Davis, a bunch of bigger names than we're sort of used to, I feel like, on this team. I think that this defense still being as good as we remember shows that Mike Vrabel didn't try to change everything just in his ways. He tried to make the team the best he could, even if it sort of, I don't know how to explain it. Even if he sort of wanted to change it, he didn't, because he just wanted the team to be the. Well, yeah, but he still wanted to.
Hold on. If you remember correctly, last year this defense was 30th ranked in the NFL. Awful. The year that you're thinking of was the year before.
Yeah.
They had a really, really good defense that year, and just a Mac Jones. So.
Yeah. That's.
But no, he really overhauled this defense, which was good by him. Which I think you meant to say. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I couldn't think of the wording there. I couldn't get the wording right.
Yeah. He really overhauled this defense. You look at all the guys brought in. You lose Jabril Peppers, who me and Austin and I were joking that it would be really nice to have a guy like Jabril Peppers on your team after Jalen Hawkins gave up the first touchdown of the game and a few catches, but then he responded. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, so I think he's brought in a few guys. Spillane, I didn't think Spillane was as good as I thought he
Yeah.
could have been. Do you remember when the announcers pointed out how he could have met Ashton Genty in the gap to stop a fourth down play, and then he went inside for some reason? I don't know if you remember that, but the announcers
Yep.
pointed that out. So I didn't think Spillane was great. He didn't do anything bad, I guess. So, just chalk it up to an okay game. But yeah, I thought the defense was really good, but the offense, that's a whole nother story. Let's get into three up, three down. We
Oh
do
yeah.
this after every game of every season, I guess. So we will be doing this after every game of the 2025 season. Let's get into the up list first. Austin, you said you didn't have any ups. Is that correct, or you just
No, that was sort of a figure of speech because I just thought that we
okay?
played horrendous today. But yeah, I got a couple ups.
All right, let's hear your
So
one of your
my
three ups.
first is post first touchdown Jalen Hawkins.
Yep.
I think that Jalen Hawkins, he had that great interception. That was just a great play.
Hmm.
And who was it? It was Carlton Davis that broke up that pass initially, and
Yep.
then Jalen Hawkins just makes it, just reading the ball, staying calm. I think that every time the ball was thrown his way, he responded in a good manner. Every post that first touchdown, I think that he made a lot of pass deflections, broke up some plays, had some good tackles, and I
Yeah.
mean he was in on a lot of plays.
And I'll back up your statement with some stats here. An interception, like you talked about, two tackle for losses, and a sack for Hawkins. So a really, really nice day there from your starting free safety, a guy who, like we said, struggled early on but was able to respond. So yeah, I had him on my up list originally, and then I took him off. But so that's why I have the stats. But just this is a guy that I almost also had on my up list because whoa, since we're talking about that, Craig Woodson, I thought he was good in his first ever game. Started, played the majority of the snaps. I think he made a few plays on the football, if I remember correctly. Also, would like to say Kyle Duggar, who started in the game, only played 7 snaps. So it's very weird and rare that you see a starter only play 7 snaps. But kind of just like deviating from this three up, three down. Like a guy that didn't really or played a lot of the preseason, played on scout team throughout the week, played on scout team throughout training camp, gets the start. A little weird, Austin. Do you think so?
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel like I feel it's Mike Vrabel trying to silence the critics by putting Kyle Duggar in there, trying to make him not notice that he only played 7 snaps in a way. I don't know. I
Yeah.
think it's a super weird move by
Maybe
Vrabel.
they just like view him in like a niche role, like a Del Pettis.
Yeah,
Shout out
we,
Kyle
we got to
Duggar.
see Del Pettis in a couple snaps today, which was
Not Del Pettis.
yeah,
Usual, like 5 snaps a game,
yeah,
and on special teams. So
love that.
yeah. Also, this is another random thought. Don't you think it would be smarter if they put like a receiver or two on the onside kick unit? It was like straight defensive players. Like I don't even think Mac Hollins was out there, was he?
I feel like I don't think we had the best hands team out there today. I don't know.
No, for especially for the onside kick. I thought Andy had a nice kick. Just Ashton Genty heads up play from the
Yeah,
rookie.
just hit it out. It's the
Yeah.
best thing you could have done there.
All right, let's get to my three up. I have Harold Landry, obviously two and a
I
half
do too.
sacks.
Yep, I
Yep.
have him for me too.
We talked about him already. There's not much else
Yeah.
to say. He was a force. Next guy I had was Keyshawn Booty.
Okay, so I feel like you're just taking mine now. I got that too.
Yeah, 6 receptions, 103 yards. This is a guy who many people wanted to trade in the offseason. I remember, I would say maybe in April or May, I said, why are we cutting? Why are we trading Keyshawn Booty? And by we, I meant like fans and the media or whatever. And I was like, Keyshawn Booty was your best receiver last year. And this is a guy who in 2020 was, I guess he obviously wasn't the best receiver, but he earned that number 7 number, which is very famous at LSU for the best players. Will Campbell also earned that number, but started by Patrick Peterson, then went to Tyrann Mathieu, then Jamar Chase had it. So this is a really, really good number. Keyshawn Booty got it, and then, kind of didn't have the best attitude, I guess you could say, in college. Didn't produce as much. So that's why I went in the 6th round. Obviously, rookie years in the doghouse. Last year, 500 yards, and then this year already starts off with a 100-yard season or game. So, I really like Keyshawn Booty, and then that would be all your ups if I said 2. So I'll go to my third one.
I would like to talk about Kayshon Boutte a little
Oh,
bit.
you're allowed to talk about Keishawn Booty for
I
about a bit.
appreciate that. Thank you. So
Hmm.
first of all, I think that those three guys, in my opinion, were the only ups. I can't think of another one off the spot of my head right now that I would consider an up. So I'm excited to hear what you have next.
Hmm.
But Kayshon Boutte, he had a great game. He was I feel like the biggest presence on offense for the Patriots. Travion Henderson had a fine game.
Yeah.
But I think that Kayshon Boutte was just the guy that was continuously there, and he was making big plays. It's not like they were just a bunch of 5 yard checks. They were like 10,
Hmm. Yeah.
20 yard plays. Some of them.
Six for
That I
100.
think.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's some really big plays there, and I think that
Yeah.
that just shows that Kayshon Boutte's going to be there, and I think that we made the right decision keeping him over Kendrick Bourne, and
Oh yeah.
yeah no yeah so no I'm super excited to see what he's going to bring the rest of the year.
Yeah, and you kind of get scared because he almost goes down with the injury. You think maybe it's a concussion, but it looked like he just got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah.
So really happy there. Also, Keishawn Boogie had a really, really good rapport with Drake May last year, which was another reason to keep him. He had 2 touchdowns on deep balls caught by Drake May. Obviously, you remember Drake May's first touchdown to Keishawn Boogie, and then the really, really nice pass against the Bills down the sideline, and then the Joe Milton pass to Keishawn Boogie, where the announcer famously said, "Booty wide
Booty
open."
wide open.
Booty. Yeah. And then my last up was Stephon Diggs coming off the torn ACL. 6 catches on 7 targets for 57 yards. I thought solid game. To me, he looked the part as a good receiver. Really nice hands catch. I thought on the third down. No, was it a third down? I don't know. But he also had a really nice catch on a slant that was on third down. But I thought Diggs looked the part. He looked like a number one receiver. Well, not number one receiver, but he looked like he could potentially be that number one for you. He looked fine off the ACL. So yeah, I was encouraged by Stephon Diggs' performance, and then also Kyle Williams getting his first catch was also pretty cool. I thought he had a nice hands catch as well. Didn't drop the ball like Jalen Polk would. So yeah, I thought Kyle Williams, but that wasn't on my up list. I just had to shout him out. All right,
Yeah.
3 down. I'll go first, or talk
All
about
right.
Stephon Diggs.
So no, I like that little insert about Stephon Diggs. That didn't even cross my mind. So yeah, no, I like that being your last up.
Thank you.
So my first down is Will Campbell.
Yep. Same.
Like overall, he had a, f- a
Yeah,
fine
fine.
game, a
I would
fine
say so.
game. But he gave up. He had a couple costly penalties that,
Hmm.
and like I think it was like third and short, third and mid, and comes at third and long, fourth and long, all that. He gave up a strip sack. He did recover the ball, but he gave up a strip sack.
I don't
No.
think it was a strip sack. I think that Drake may just drop the ball. I'm gonna go ahead and find the clip and
Okay.
show.
Okay. So yeah, no, I thought that he gave up a strip sack. That's what it looked like to me. But I feel like that there was a couple of times where he, jumped off sides. A couple plays where you wouldn't expect that from a fourth round offensive lineman. Sure, he's a rookie, first game. I'll give him his credit where
Fourth
credit
overall
is.
pick, not fourth round.
Fourth pick. Not fourth round. Sorry. He's so yeah, no, I'll give him a little bit to adjust, but that's just not really what I was expecting from him.
All right. So apparently nobody wants to post a Will Campbell strip sack. Will Campbell. I don't think it was a strip sack, personally. Um, but I guess I can go through the highlights and look for it. Bro, Will Campbell is effing dog shit. Okay? I'm not gonna read that out. Apparently, people don't like Will Campbell, but I'm gonna try to find this video here real quick. I spelled Campbell wrong. That's why. Look at that. That's why that guy. All right, here's the strip sack. Nope, that's not the strip sack. Oh, he gave up another sack too. Here's the
Yeah,
strip sack.
he gave up a couple.
Yeah, no, that is not a strip sack. Here, let me
Okay.
show you.
So he gave up a sack that ultimately led to a fumble. At least he did recover it, though. You want to bring
No,
that a little
he didn't
closer?
get touched. Can you see that? Is that going to focus eventually?
Yeah, I can see it.
All
You gotta
right.
click play though.
Someone's got to press play here. Where you at? Play button.
Bang. All right, let's see.
You look at this. Look at this. He drops the ball. No one touched him.
From my view, it looks like I'm gonna look it up on my part.
I don't think. Wait, I'm gonna try to find. I'm gonna slow. Okay. Oh, I took a screenshot. All right. Look at here. Focus 1 second. So if you're listening to this on Spotify, that's just too bad. You know what? Let's just play the video. Austin will find a way to edit the video to go in there. I'm gonna zoom in here and see. No, he clearly dropped the ball. I'm gonna send this to you. Hold on.
All
All
right.
right. Anyways, Will Campbell on the down list. Yes, he gives up a sack, and then that was unrelated to the strip sack. But yeah, I had him on my down list too. He gave up. He had two penalties, like you said, very close together. Two penalties. Like the penalties were very close together. In on the same drive. And then I'll go into my second down. I had Mike Vrabel not going for it on fourth down. With 4:53 left, down 20-10, you punt the ball. The Raiders obviously get the third down and 20 conversion to, I believe it was Dante Thornton, a guy that I was hyping up all week. Biggest threat. I had him as one of my biggest threats. I had him and Max Crosby. And Dante Thornton came through for the Las Vegas Raiders when they needed it for a 30-yard catch. So, yeah, I didn't like the decision there by Vrabel to punt the ball. And I'm going to send you this clip now, Austin.
All right, so
And
I'll
you,
go into my second down. This might be a little controversial, but I'm going to say Drake May.
yeah,
You know, he had the interception. Apparently, he had a fumble where he was not touched. Um,
the
but I
ball's
just
wet.
think overall, just not the game we were expecting out of Drake May. You know, I think everyone was sort of hyping him up over the offseason. People thought he looked great at camp. But I just think that it wasn't the game that we were expecting, sort of similar to what we were expecting out of Will Campbell. We think of a game that was going to. Oh, Theo.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I
sorry.
thought
That's,
you were. Okay.
all right, watch it.
I just expected a bigger game. I feel like he overthrew a lot of balls, into tight coverage, sure, but he just overthrown. No chance for the receiver to get it. I just think that those plays, if you cut those down, you can have a much better chance at winning the game, which we did not have today.
Yeah, one thing that a lot of people were scared of with Drake May was that you were going to lose some of that playmaking ability. You were going to lose some of that deep threat, some of that, I don't want to say recklessness, but some of that good playmaking ability, like I said. And I thought Drake May didn't do much in terms of playmaking. I thought he stood in the pocket, thought he ran, or when he ran, he slid, which was good. But I don't think they had one dialed up deep ball. Maybe they had a dialed up deep ball, but Drake May did not throw it, aside from the one to Kayshon Boutte where he threw 5 yards out of bounds. So I didn't love Drake May in a sense. With that, I don't know how much that is a Drake May problem versus a Josh McDaniels problem. But I didn't have Drake May on the down list because when you throw, honestly, the only reason why I would have Drake May on the down list was because he couldn't get the offense moving. I think, yes, he had a few bad passes, a few overthrows. I don't think it's enough to put him on the down list. Also threw for 287 yards and a touchdown, which was a really nice pass to Demario Douglas. But before that, he had a really bad pass to Demario Douglas. So I think it just evened out. I think maybe you have him leaning a little bit towards down, but not fully on the down list. So Austin, you watched the video. Thoughts?
So yeah, it's not necessarily a strip sack, but from the angle, it looks like his head goes into Drake May's elbow in the throwing motion.
Oh,
That's
that
what
could be
I
correct.
that's what I was able to take away from the video. It looks like that, like you said, the ball's wet, head goes into the elbow, while he's back here,
Nice.
head hits the elbow, ball just comes flying out. I think that's just a tough play. I think you
Yeah.
could you could in some sense call it a strip sack, some sense just call it that on Drake May, but the ball's wet, so I'm just gonna chalk that up to just a tough loss. But Will Campbell covered the ball, so it's hard to really criticize that play that much.
Yeah. All right. Give me your last down. Or you have six, right?
Pretty much, yeah. So my last down, I'm just gonna sum this all up. The overall team.
He's gonna say the offense.
I was gonna say the offense, but I want it to be a little nice because the overall team, because there's a couple things like the special teams. Andy Bergala's rookie kicker in the cold misses a kick. I'm gonna cut him some slack. Like I said, rookie kicker in the cold, first NFL kick, sure. But also I feel like that the offense, like you said, could not get moving. I don't know if that's just a team chemistry problem, Josh McDaniels problem, Drake May problem. I
I
don't know
think
what it is, but if this offense can't get moving against a Raiders defense, which I don't necessarily know if it was that highly touted through the offseason, I don't know if they're going to be able to get through like a Dolphins defense. I mean, sure they
Well,
gave up.
Miami,
They gave. I was gonna say they gave up 20 against
they
the
get
or
up
more than 20 against the Colts.
34
So
against Daniel
yeah, so
Jones.
I
And
don't. That's a bad analogy, but I just don't know what they're gonna be able to do against some other teams if they can't pull it out against the Ravens.
Steelers is going to be a blowout. That's not going to be fun if they play like this. Now, they could obviously get better, but if they play like this, not going to be fun. This is super random, but I've always no, not always, but thinking about, hold on, let me say this right. All right, so I was thinking that maybe this Patriots season could be very similar to this Red Sox season in a sense where they add a bunch of talent. The Red Sox added Alex Bregman, they added Garrett Crochet, they added Aroldis Chapman, and the season started off really bad for the Red Sox. I mean, yeah. And then they started to heat up, and then now they're going down. But it doesn't matter, they won today. But Patriots, they add a bunch of talent. They add a true wide receiver one, which is the one thing that the Patriots were missing. And I know, like Garrett Crochet versus Stephon Diggs, there were questions on whether or not Garrett Crochet could have been an ace.
And then
And he is.
Carlton Davis is our Aroldis Chapman, the veteran.
Or Milton Williams, or Robert Spillane. They are all our oldest Chapmans.
Robert Spillane's our Alex Bregman.
I don't know. Yeah, who's the Alex Bregman? Yeah, that's a good question.
Robert
Maybe.
Spillane, he's everywhere.
All right, yeah. And then, so yeah, I wonder if the Patriots started off bad. They lose. Maybe they'll lose. Maybe they'll beat the Dolphins, lose to the Steelers, and then maybe after that they start a hot streak, maybe 10-game win streak, like the Red Sox did a few times this year.
I really like that. I really like that analogy. I really like
Yeah,
that.
I was thinking about that since the Red Sox sucked
Yeah.
whenever they started sucking. And I was like, hey, the Patriots kind of...
Except right now, one issue is right now the Red Sox don't look like they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, well, I would say if the Patriots if the Patriots are in contention for a wild card after what we just saw, that would be pretty impressive.
Yeah. I would love that.
All right. I never gave my final down. Final down was Bryce Behringer. This is a guy who's one of the worst punters in the NFL. 21-yard punt when you really need him to come through. Pin him back. This was after the Mike Vrabel not going for it. 4 minutes left in the game. Really won a nice punt here, and he punted 20 yards into the stands. Not a great punter. Never thought he's been a good punter. People calling him one of the best. He's average. That's why you don't replace him. He's not a weapon like some punters are, like Ryan Allen or what's the guy's name from the Chiefs? Matt Araiza, Tommy Townsend for the Texans. He's not a weapon, and honestly, I think he hurts the team more than he helps the team. But this is just my little Bryce Behringer rant. Also, I got Austin.
I would like to disagree with that whole thing calling Bryce Behringer not a weapon. I feel like last year Bryce Behringer was on my up list every other game.
Yeah, because the team sucked and he punted the ball like 50 yards one time.
I think he had 3 punts this game.
Yeah.
Right? And I think one of them was pinned inside the 10.
Well, that was an idiot.
The other was pinned inside the 20. He had one.
Hold on. The ball was fair caught inside the 10 and if it wasn't, the ball would have bounced into the end zone because the Raiders returner didn't catch the ball. But yeah, sure. If you look at statistically, then yes.
That's like saying that the ball would have bounced into the end zone if he didn't fair catch it is saying that the ball would have went over the ball if he hit it well.
The ball wouldn't have been over the ball if he hit it. What did you say?
No, the ball would have went over. It would have been a home run if he hit it well.
No.
It's the same analogy. So it was pinned inside the 10. The stats will say that. I will say that. Everyone will say that. Doesn't matter if you fair caught it or not. He had 3 punts, 2 of them inside the 20. And I just think that one bad punt doesn't make a guy. I think that he is a weapon for this Patriots special teams.
Bad punts. He has one bad punt a game.
No, he does not.
Yeah, he does.
He has one bad punt every 5 games.
He averaged 42 yards on his punts. That's not very good.
Well, he was punting from the 50. That's the thing. He wasn't punting from the 30 or the 20. He was punting from midfield.
Bryce Behringer has sucked just as much as anyone today. And then a shank by Bryce Behringer. This is from Alex Barth. And then a shank by Bryce Behringer. Wheels falling off.
He did have a shank. That's true.
He did pin the ball.
A 21-yarder is about the length I can do it.
Yeah. All right. I guess you're right. I'll let you win on that. Let's also talk about probably the best play that happened today. Drake May throws a pass to himself. Um, that was interesting, I guess. Catches it, goes for 2 yards. I don't know. I thought Drake May didn't look too fast today. I don't know if that's him sliding after he was or when he was in danger, but
He got
uh,
tracked down pretty quickly after that self pass.
yeah. But that was cool. And then also, hopefully you don't know this, but Demario Douglas had guess his stat line for today.
Over under 35 yards.
I'm not telling you, just guess.
42 yards on 3 catches with on 5 targets with 1 drop.
And he had what also?
A touchdown.
Yeah, so no. 2 catches, a touchdown, -2 yards.
Wow. I feel like I could have sworn Demario Douglas was much more involved than that. Wow.
He also had a drop, you're right, yes.
Yep. I remember that drop clear as day.
Yeah. First Patriots drive.
Oh, real
Um,
quickly.
yeah.
I feel like we're wrapping up soon, but I want to talk about Max Crosby throwing Drake May and then giving
Yeah.
the cry towards the bench. How do you feel about that?
I thought it was like, okay, Max, what the heck is wrong with you? No. Max
I thought
Crosby
it was,
also stripping the ball from Drake May every single time he had it in his hands. I don't know if you noticed that, but let's say there was a false start or offsides, he would come and try to punch the ball out of Drake May's hands every single time. And it's just like, did you watch the series Quarterback from 2022?
I did.
Yeah, and it's just like he was pissing off Patrick Mahomes like that. He does those like weird things where he'll like slap the quarterback's arm. It's just Max Crosby's a weird. I don't know.
It's a
I'm
little
not a
bush
fan.
league. Little bush. Even my mom was getting to the point where, oh, he's too good, where he's cocky.
Yeah, not a
He's not.
fan
He's
of that.
not. He's not good enough to be this cocky. She said.
He is good enough to be that cocky. Let's be honest. I don't think he had a sack though.
He didn't. He got some pressure, but I don't think he was all that amazing today.
Yeah, he did. Morgan Moses got beat 6 times, I think it was. So he did get his job done, but Drake May got the ball every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Max Crosby may have had 1 sack, but not as good as Harold Landry. Harold Landry, best pass rusher in the NFL. Is that confirmed?
For sure.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer, All
Um,
Pro.
let's talk about Travion Henderson. Ramondre Stevenson. Really bad game. Antonio Gibson does not look like he's involved at all. He had 6 snaps on the day, less than Kyle Duggar. I thought Henderson was all right. He had a few nice plays. What'd you think of the 4th-and-1 call where they looked like they were going to do the Philly
Tush
special
push.
tush push?
I love
And
that.
that was a good call.
That was a
I
very
thought,
good call. I was loving that play. I think that they made the completely correct decision right there.
and then Drake May was about to go down with a sack, and he hit Travion Henderson on the little like screen pass, and Henderson got a few yards. I think that was the Mike Vrabel bad decision to punt. But I think did Will Campbell have a false start, and that's why they decided to punt, or did they just decide to punt?
Yes.
Because
Yeah. No, they were gonna go for it. I believe on 4th and 2, something like that.
yeah,
Then
that was Henderson got like 13 yards on that play.
yeah.
So he wasn't great, but he wasn't terrible.
Yeah, he had a
And
fine
Scott,
rookie game. He had for a
your
rookie
run
game.
defense is really good.
It
Also,
was. Genty
yeah.
was
So
contained. He broke for a couple, but he was mostly contained.
yeah, he only had like 40 yards. Yeah. So I think that we covered it all. We covered Diggs. We covered Del Pettis. We covered. Oh, Hunter Henry had a really nice catch,
He
and it
did.
really Austin. You said that was a bad throw, but I think it was a really good throw. He put it in a good
Yeah,
spot.
I had to look at that a couple times, but yeah, that was he hit him where he could catch it, where the defender couldn't do anything.
Yep. So yeah, we talked about everything. Keon White does not have a role on this team, just so we actually did talk about everything. So yeah, that'll pretty much cover it. A really good post game pod for. I just praise us. Anyways, I think we covered a lot of stuff here. So yeah, Patriots lose to the Raiders 20-13 at the Razor. Not a great game. The Patriots will be taking on Miami next week at Hard Rock Stadium. Dolphins lose to the Colts and
Colts.
Daniel Jones by a lot. They scored 8 points. I think it was 34-8. So that'll be an interesting matchup. yeah, so we'll see you on Saturday or Friday night for our next edition of the Patriots Real Time Podcast. That'll do it. And follow me, Patriots3 on Instagram. Follow Austin Ray Photography on Instagram. He's got a nice photography page with his iPhone 13 photos. So not even shot on a professional camera, but it looks like it is. No glaze. And then shout out Jack from Games with Names. And then yeah, follow the podcast, Patriots. Follow the podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, and Twitter/X, Patriots Real Time. And we will see you next time.
Good night.